Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Bubba Dub. Everybody, I got a legend in the building, man. Michael Irvin, the Hall of Famer, a.k.a. Playmaker, a.k.a. my daddy. Because damn it, that's what y'all be saying. This man is my daddy, man. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey,
how you feeling, Mike?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. And I love that we're doing this show right here at Playmakers. And I'm looking out at this audience, man, and this is a beautiful group right here. We've got a beautiful group right here in Playmakers, so I'm feeling great.
Man, that's good. Let's go on and dive into it, man. Where my Cowboy fans at? Y'all make some noise.
Y'all gotta be in the middle. This is Cowboy Haven right here.
Most definitely is.
That's what this is. Make no mistake about it. When I first got here, I told everybody in the building, I told them all, I said, we ain't selling, we not a bar, not even a restaurant. What we are in the business of is the Dallas damn Cowboys. That's the first thing I told everybody. We're in the business of the Dallas Cowboys.
Most damn so. Let's go ahead and start it out for this season right here, Mike. What you expecting from the Cowboys this season? What you expecting?
Well, when we get our guys in camp, and we got to get our guys in camp, and I know, I want everybody to understand, this is the game they play with our emotions all the time. I've been on the other side of this, the great player and the owner. And they'll fight all day, they'll fight all night, and the deal won't get done until the slipper falls off Cinderella and the carriage turns back into a pumpkin. But the deal will get done.
For sure.
It'll be late, it'll be great, but the deal will get done. And when we get our guys back in camp, I'm expecting another good season. That means you'll go 12-5. At worst 11-6 or 10-7, but you'll get in the playoffs. Now, what we do, that's the question when we get in the playoffs.
Before we get to the playoffs, like Dak future is up in the air right now with a new contract looming. What does contract situation does to players at this time, whether they don't know if they're gonna be here or not? What does that do to the psyche of a player?
Right, and that's that's a great way to ask a question, and that's what people do on TV. And I'm there all the time. I have to deal with, because you said that future's up in the air. That future ain't up in the air, man. That got so much money, man. He already got so much money.
For sure.
He's finishing up a $160 million deal, and he's going on to get another one. So the hyperbole that we use on TV stains the brain in a way. But the reality is, Dak's future not up in there. He's going to be with the Cowboys at least this year.
For sure.
And Dallas will figure something out and to try to keep him long term. And the only way they will not do it is if Trey Lance is doing some incredible things in practice, and you're saying, man, we got to get this dude on the football field.
What have you seen from Trey Lance so far?
Well, I haven't seen enough to say anything about moving Dak. I'm just giving y'all knowledge to get ahead of the game, so you're not just following the game. But the reality is, no. Dak Prescott is our quarterback, man, and we need to make sure he's on the football field.
I'm glad you said that, because you also have fans and the naysayers saying, well, if Dak don't want to be there, then let him go. No, stop saying that bullshit, because Trey Lance ain't it. Not right now. Not right now. Like, I don't see no other quarterback right now that can come in and lead the Dallas Cowboys besides Dak. So,
well, there's a lot in that. There's a lot in that. It really is, guys, and we might as well prepare for that kind of a season, because it's a lot in that. Dak is right now the best option we have if we're ever going to talk about getting those things that I have.
Yeah, the rings. That's what you're talking about, right, Mike?
No. I ain't talking about the ring. I'm talking about the rings.
Yeah, you got 3, for sure.
I tell people I'm an S brother. Everything I've done, I won championships on every level. On levels. You put an S in it. And then when you ask, do you want a ring? No, rings. So, I'm an S brother. So, yes. Now, in order to win championships, it takes something different. It takes something special. You got to have a deep bond. It's not that we don't have the players with the skill. Our fault and our shortcomings have been they don't have the collective will You see, and that's why we've come up short. We need somehow, some way for those dudes to get that collective will to match their skill, and then we can get some things done.
Well, that's the thing you just said. Rings, we haven't won since you won. And that's the problem right now that we having as Cowboy fans, as Cowboy Nation. We've been spoiled over the last 25 years over the 3 rings that y'all won in the time frame that y'all won. So what I'm saying is you got Dak right now, then you got CeeDee, we haven't paid him. Then you got Michael Parsons. We got 3 components. Remember, it was Aikman, Emmitt, and you. And that's the way I look at it now with Dak, CeeDee, and Michael Parsons. You have to take care of those guys. What are we waiting on to taking care of those guys and going and handle business?
And that's a great segue to what we should be talking about anyway. The reality is those top 3 guys are incredible athletes, man, incredible players. But in order for us to do something special, they have to come together.
Correct.
Because they're going to be the top of the spear. To this day, people ask all the time about my relationship with Troy or my relationship with Emmitt. We're to this day, we're still great friends. We've never had any kind of discourse or anything, having any falling outs. You know what I mean? Because we know the kind of bond it takes to do great things, to win championships. You're going to be tested in your deepest will. And if you're not together on that, then some things you're not going to succeed. Correct. You're not going to succeed. And those 3 guys, man, so gifted and so talented and in great areas, in the areas we need. We need to move that ball through the air, and we need somebody to get to that damn quarterback. And we got it. I just need them to get it together. They'll get their money. I'm talking about collect the wheels together, and let's get some championships around here, man. Because I'm tired of people talking about Kansas City and all these other teams, and San Francisco, and not talking about the Dallas Cowboys like they should be.
Well, I play receiver too, right? You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
I was good until I got hit so hard I shit on myself, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I saw plenty of guys just like that. Just like that. I used to tell my lady, man, right, every year they drafted a new receiver, and these are bad boys, man, in camp, man. They used to draft these dudes. I would call my lady and say, hey, get out of the mall, baby. Stop spinning. They got this bad dude over here. Boy, they do fast. And then we put on the pass and they throw the ball, and that ball beat the dude up. I call him back and I said, you can spend as much as you want. We good. You see what I mean? Because there were a lot of guys that has all the physical skill set, but when it comes to it, the courage ain't right. And they did what you did.
What made you a playmaker, though? You wasn't the fastest, you wasn't the greatest route runner ever, but you a Hall of Famer. That means something. Like, what made you a playmaker?
It's so funny. The game, I got that nickname when I got to the University of Miami. Jimmy was talking about in a meeting, we need some new playmakers. We had just lost 2 top receivers, Eddie Brown, who was all pro, and Stanley Shakespeare. Both guys had left. And I'll never forget, right? I was watching film one day, and Jimmy walked by. And Jimmy said, Michael, he said, everybody's wondering what is Miami going to do at wide receiver. He said, wait till I show him Michael Irvin. And he walked off. He just walked off. I said, oh, Coach, I ain't gonna let you down. Like, he yelled, right. Oh my God, man. The next day we went to practice. I was still hyped. I was whooping Negro's butt in practice, talking much noise. And then Winston Moss, I was just a freshman. Winston Moss said, boy, that was a playmaker right there. And from that point on, they've always called me. They just called it the playmaker. It stuck because Jimmy was talking about prior to that we need playmakers. We had lost those great receivers. And then, I had that practice, and it stuck.
That first Super Bowl run y'all had, what was that like that year?
Out of all the things that God has allowed me to experience, and I've had many great peaks and some low valleys, dude, I'll tell you this, nothing's greater than winning that first Super Bowl. Nothing. Because you got to track back just a little bit in history when I came here from Miami, man, I played 3 years in Miami. I graduated early with my degree in business. Back then, just FYI, in order to go to the league early, you had to graduate. But I also got a chance to control the draft since I was only a junior and I had graduated.
Oh, you smart. I'm dumb.
If a team drafted me, I could drop a class and they would lose the draft pick, and I could apply for a supplemental draft. So I wanted to come to Dallas. Mm-hmm. Green Bay called me with the 7th pick. I was like, no, dog. I ain't leaving Miami for Green Bay. No. So Dallas never called. And Dallas didn't need to call because Jimmy, I swear to you guys, Jimmy had told me like 2 weeks before the draft, Michael, I'm going to just let you know, Dallas is going to draft you. Mm. And don't be trying none of that old trick shit. I said, what do you mean, coach? He said, I'm coming a year after you. He said, I got an Oreo buddy of mine who's going to buy the Cowboys. I'll be there next year. So Dallas didn't even call. They just drafted me. And then when I got drafted here, everybody thought I was, I don't know, the Antichrist. Because, I had on my earring and the big rope, and Tom Landry had never drafted, like me.
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to leave that word blank.
Yeah.
But you know. Yeah.
So it's funny you say that Jimmy told you his boyfriend, which is Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
That's
right. He told me that before. And I was like, yeah, okay, coach. That's okay. And I'm going to tell y'all this too now. In my first year here, I was undefeated in high school and then only lost like 2 games at Miami in my 3 years. When I came here and we went out in that first game against Pittsburgh. I scored a touchdown, but then they scored. And of course we got killed. And I was in the locker room crying like a baby, and everybody kept walking up to me talking about, man, we don't do that in the pros. You got to pick up that check. Dude, I was so hurt because the whole idea of what I thought the NFL was just got shattered, And I'll never forget the next year when Jimmy came, I told on every one of them jokers. I told Jimmy, all of them have to go. These guys have to go. And he got rid of them. And we slowly started turning around.
What was it like when Jimmy got there? Like you say, the first year Jimmy wasn't there. What changed when Jimmy Johnson got there?
It was Tom Landry had been a great coach,
correct,
for a long time, and they had done great things here. And a lot of the players had great success, but they were on the back end. And when you have that kind of success, you have a great bond. And it was hard for him to let some of those great players go. But we needed an infusion of talent and an infusion of speed, and Jimmy brought that. You know what I mean?
When you had Aikman, when you had Emmitt, when you had yourself, when did you know, like, we got something special?
Okay, the first year we went 1-15, and I cried after every game. I said, this is horrible. The second year we got Troy. Because I said, all I need is a quarterback. And we got Troy. We only won 1 game that year. Won 3 the first year, and 3-13, the second year. Now, once we got Troy, though, I saw something. Because, it's not just a physical skill set. It's how you see defeat that will determine how successful you will be. My first year, the guys that I was with, they didn't see defeat right. Mm. Now, when Troy came, and we won 1 game, and I'm watching him, it hurt him as much as it hurt me. So now you got the makings of something. Next year we get Emmitt and we're able to take off. We just had to make sure once we get that nucleus of this is who we are, this is what we will be, then we got to make sure any and everybody that comes to us and is on this team adhere to that, or you got to kick rocks.
It's funny you say that with Emmitt. How important is the run game?
It was everything when we got Emmitt. I remember I had played Emmitt in Miami, and when Miami, he was at Florida. We beat him down. I mean, we killed him.
Yeah.
But he was the bright spot for that team. And then when you see E, it don't look like he's really running.
Yeah.
And dude, he would be in meetings
Sleep.
like that, just like that. Sleep, I'll let E go. Wake up, man. Wake up, right? And he'll be knocked out. And come Sunday, that joker will rush for 200 yards. I said, how did he do that? Next week, I told him, leave him alone. Let that man sleep. Whatever he doing, he needs to do. He was a different dude, dog. He had what you call hit balance. No matter how you hit him, he was going to land back on his feet and keep running. He was phenomenal, man.
Was it ever time you had to go to Aikman or the coach and say, just give me the down ball?
Dude, it's funny you say Aikman and the coach, and I'm going to assume you're talking about the head coach. Correct. That's totally off limits.
Whoa.
To me, the head coach or Troy Aikman, I cannot ever go after. Those are the head guys, and we have to have order. Now, I'm going to be, since we're sitting amongst family,
for sure,
totally real here in what I think. I made sure that the quarterback had that power. When I'm in the locker room, I got to make sure that the quarterback has that power. And even if he made a bad throw, I'm going to go to him and say, that's on me. I got it. I'll get the ball. Don't worry about it. I got it. My concerns here with this team is I don't know if that's so true with this team and the autonomy and the power they should be giving Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? He's certainly earned it all.
For sure.
He certainly earned it all. But that playoff game, when I watched that first play, I think Dak missed CeeDee, and then it looked like CeeDee didn't want to even talk to him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that kind of stuff is out of bounds. You know what I mean? You can't do that and expect to have wins or expect to win in games like that. That's what I'm talking about, the collective will. So you got to understand, you got to make the quarterback feels like no matter what.
Well, who's the leader? Who's the leader on the Dallas Cowboys to go to a CeeDee and say, hey, I know you can get the ball. I know he missed you on that one, but let's keep it together.
Well, and Dak's a great leader, and Dak was trying. He was trying, and you saw. I guess they never really got together, and certainly didn't get together on the game. Dak was trying. He was trying, but they as a team, you have to recognize and understand. We have to have order, and he's the quarterback. That's the head coach. Nobody questions that because they're trying to put us in position to win. We have to have order, and that's just the bottom line.
You think Zeke gonna be able to help us out this season?
Yeah, I do think Zeke, because Zeke brings about that order we're talking about. Absolutely. I told people a couple years ago, we shouldn't have gotten rid of Zeke. But no, everybody was worried about the money he was making, not the presence he was presenting. And Zeke being the force, you can't be an NFL team without a hammer. Last year, we were an NFL team with no hammer, and you're not going to win things without a hammer.
What was your dislikes from last year's team? Some things that you saw in the team last year that you didn't like.
That was my biggest dislike. There were the times that you got to line up and be able to say, dude, 1 yard, game's on the line. Dude, 1 inch, game's on the line. We had no ability to lay a hammer in that situation.
I know we want to put the players, but can we put the blame on the coaches as well? Well, the coach supposed to be a leader. Right. At times it looked like Mike McCarthy is not a leader. At times it looked like he's lost.
Well, guys, the league has changed now. Jimmy, years that Jimmy coached, it was head coach by dominion over. Now the times that Mike McCarthy is coaching is head coach by partnership. Jimmy was scared the hell out of you. Like, you ain't gonna never play again and you ain't going anywhere and all of that. You had to do whatever. Yeah. But now, these guys, you're getting $150 million guaranteed. I can't cut you. So I got to feel a way to partnership with you. I got to try to bring the best out of you using a different method. Because fear and control can't be used anymore because you can't be cut.
That makes sense. Is there any player in the game right now remind you of yourself?
No, ain't none of them jokers that bad. But they okay. You know what I'm saying? They okay. I hear it all the time when people talk about their top tens and all of that, and they'll say all these other jokers. I ain't got no issue with it. I say it like this. I'll give it to Jerry Rice. But as soon as you finish with the Ian Rice, you better start with the M and Michael.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And I only played half the time, but last count, we had the same number of rings. You know what I'm saying? I only played 9, he had 18, but we still got 3 rings.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's all good.
If you played right now in today's time, what would your stats look like right now? In this league right now? In this passing league?
I wouldn't do. They'll have Michael Irvin, and then they will have illegal. That's just it. Number illegal. Then number illegal. Because the way they throwing the ball, you can't even hit anybody until after they catch the ball.
Correct.
I majored in taking the hit and I traded the concussion for the reception. That's what I was saying to brothers. Dude, I'm willing to trade the concussion for the reception. So whenever someone knows it's going to hurt you, it'll hurt them as much as it hurt you when they hit you, and you talk about you'll trade the concussion for they don't even want to hit you no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They only so yeah, it's different right now, man, and that's all good. That's all good. It's just a different game.
For sure. Well, let's go a little step further. How was it making the transition from the NFL to a broadcaster? Like, what was that transition like?
Well, I've always expected to do exactly that. That's why my degree in those 3 years, I majored in business management and organization, and my minors were in communication. So I've always wanted to transition into talking about the game. But not only talking about the game, I want you to grasp the depth of it. It's how do I use the game to try to inspire, give inspiration and motivation to other people. That's the beauty of it, because the game is so applicable to life. In football, like in basketball, individual isolated success. LeBron can take the ball and take it off one rim and dunk it on the other. He does it all by himself. Or you can stand at home plate and slap a home run all by yourself. In golf, you stand on the 18, you drop a puck all by yourself. Yeah. It's individual isolated success. That's nowhere in anything to do with football do you have any individual isolated success. And truth be known, ain't nowhere in anything that we all do in life, rather it's organizations, companies, corporations, and certainly the most important thing, family, where you will have individual isolated success. It's going to require you working with others so I can take all the ins and outs of football to help you in your daily life.
What has football done for you in your life?
You mean besides get me out that hellhole of a ghetto in Miami when I was 15 or 17 kids and we ain't had nothing?
Yeah.
Nothing? You know what I mean? It really has done everything, though. Outside of moving my family from one place to another. You know what I mean? And doing all of that. Now, dude, let me tell you, I have probably 5 summer homes in Florida. Literally, about 5 summer homes in Florida. I just got some of them Negroes living in all of them. They won't leave. They've been living for free since 1988. 'Cause that's what family does. You know what I mean? So what it has done for not just me, but being able to give my family a different kind of life. It's what it really is. My sister bought me, I remember a pair of sneakers from Kmart. And they were back in the day where they used to have a big basket in the middle of Kmart. And the shoes just tied together and they threw them over. You had to go find your size. And, $1.99.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I played basketball. I slid all over the court in them. But she bought them. And then the day I got drafted, she looked at me and said, remember them shoes? Boy, you got to buy me a house. And I was like, but I did get her a house. You know, so that's what football has done. It's given me the opportunity to give my family a better life.
I'm dealing with that now, as you know, people see you, me becoming successful now. I got a lot of family members that never really had 2 words to say to me, and now they got all these things they want. Hey, fam, can you do this and that? And me, never. I'm not doing shit. Because they ain't never done nothing for me. What was y'all at when I was, struggling and really coming from the bottom, trying to get to where I'm getting to now? Y'all wasn't there. Now y'all want to be around when we popping champagne and all that. You can watch it on TV. Damn sure ain't gonna watch it here in person with me.
That's family though. That's family. I mean, God Almighty is family. And truth me out, the white players don't have to deal with that.
But why is that?
They just let them get their money and go. Don't worry, they can get all their money and go. Their family don't bother them, but our family will bother us. It's just what it is, man. Because they figure they came through with you. Like my family said, man, I was there with you. So, like the Bible said, I suffered with you. I should reign with you. Let me get some of this. And I say okay to that.
That's cool. I respect that, Mike. But like I say, man, like you say, man, family is everything. But also, we know as well, family can be your worst downfall as well.
If you're not careful. But anyone can be a hard downfall. That's why the Bible says, be ye careful not to connect with people that you're unequally yoked. One thing or the other will happen. Either you're going to pull them up, or they're going to pull you down. So you just got to remain. It's not the connection, but you got to make sure that you're always pulling up, and don't let them pull down.
For sure. Now that you retire, I mean, how does it feel to be a Hall of Famer? Because not many players be able to put on this gold jacket that we see here. I mean, so millions of players, thousands of players done played the game of football, but only a few has got this jersey. I mean, this gold jacket right here. How does that feel?
Going to the Hall of Fame, it's the greatest honor in the world for me, because I get to see, dude, the guys that I watch play the game, they're still arguing about games. They're still arguing about who fouled, who held who, and who did what to who. So you can see the love is never going to leave.
Yeah.
When I see the guys that are much older than me and they still have the passion about arguing about a play that happened so long ago, I was like, oh, okay. All right. You don't ever lose that. And that's what I love. I love going to honor those guys. That's why even in my restaurant right here, I put the Ring of Honor above the bar. You know what I mean? We can't ever get anywhere and do anything great unless we're honoring the greats that come before us. That means we've allowed them to set the mark for what we should be doing. And if they're up there setting the mark, then we got nowhere to go but up there also. So we have to honor that.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Mike. Give me your top 5 greatest receivers ever.
Boy, that's a good question, man. and I play with it like this. Since there's such a variance in what is required, considered on the different offenses, I'll give it to you like this. I give you my top 5 the guys that inspired me the most. And the guys that helped me pull to where I am the most. And I will put number 1 be Jerry Rice. I mean, he was in my locker in college and in my locker in the NFL. You make no mistake about it. Now, I lost my father my junior year, going into my senior year of high school. My father never really watched me play. Never watched me play. But I grew up watching the Dallas Cowboys with my father. And every time Clutch would make a play, he would always look at me and say, "That's how you play, son. That's how you play." Clutch was what we called Drew Pearson. It was Clutch. That's how you play. That's Clutch. That's Clutch. Then he called the Hail Mary, and he gave the Hail Mary guy and all that. But every catch that I made in the NFL for the Dallas Cowboys, and it was just apropos, I was wearing 88. since my father never watched me play, I would always think about the reaction he had to a play that Drew Pearson made. You know what I mean? When Drew made a catch, I would put that in my head every time I made a play. So, you know, of course, I would put Drew Pearson in there. I remember early on getting a chance to work out with Jim Kelly and Andre Reed.
I remember him for the Buffalo Bills.
Dude, I was just a young buck in college, boy. I thought I was it, boy. Andre Reed and Jim Kelly, that was everything, man, to work out with those dudes. So I put Andre Reed up in there. I wore number 8 in high school for Kellen Winslow. He's a tight end, but I got to put him in there as a pass catcher. I'll put him in there, you know. And since I always wanted to run fast and I never could, damn, I got to throw Tyreek Hill. Could you imagine if I could run like Tyreek Hill, dude? I would have won 4 straight national championships. Well, 3 since I only played 3 years. I was in the national championship game. And at least 6 straight championships in the pros. So I got to put that kind of speed in there.
What do you think defensive back go through trying to defend Tyreek Hill right now?
It's impossible. I built my game on understanding the angles of games and all of those things. So now you put that knowledge with speed, you're done. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill has such speed. I never had the speed. I'm going to beat you on the angle. And I'm going to beat you with this big body. You just can't get around and get the ball.
But that what makes you great. You know, because we live in the world now. It's all about speed. 4.2 40s, 4.3 40s.
Right. But that's because they can't hit. You see, so now those guys were there when we were playing, but they could hit you to separate you from the ball. So they limit. Just like you put that doo-doo in your pants.
Yeah.
They were putting doo-doo in their pants. So now that they can't hit like that, ain't no more doo-doo in the pants. And so that speed become dangerous, man. That speed become dangerous, and yeah, I understand that's why people want it.
When you looked at your calendar as a Cowboy player, what team you didn't like the most? Like, you know what, I know I got a dog fight on my hands.
Well, it started out, dude, when I first got here now, y'all remember, it was Cowboys and Redskins, and I don't want nobody, well, you can't cancel me.
Nah, man, it's the Redskins, the best damn commander.
That's what I'm saying, it's the Redskins.
We'll say Redskins.
And those were the best, dog. Those Cowboy Redskin games, those were real, dog. And then it was Darryl Green. The first year, let me tell you, the first year I played, and I was like, man, Darryl Green, he gonna play me? And Darryl Green came out. That's, oh my God, they putting Darryl Green on me. You right?
He's small though.
And I went off. I had 166 yards. 160. But I tell everybody, I think I caught 2 touchdowns, 166 yards or something in that game. I always say that. But Darryl Green got hurt early on. That was really on somebody else. You know what I mean? I beat down some other joker. Darryl got hurt early, right? But then I did get a chance to have some pretty good games against Darryl Green. And he was the man in the league at that time. He was the Deion Sanders of the National Football League. And in that time, you know, we had prison mentality. You go on the yard, you beat the baddest man on the yard, you become the baddest man on the yard.
How was those battles with prime time? Not only when you played against it, but you also had to play with him and practice against him as well. What was those battles like? I'm gonna tell you, you know what's funny too, and true to form is the dudes that I battled against are my best friends now. I lie to you not, like Aeneas Williams. And I always say, to get my gold rings, I went through gold jackets. Because I got followed on the whole football field by Aeneas Williams, Rod Woodson, Darryl Green, Deion Sanders, Champ Bailey. He get left off the list a lot. Rod Woodson was one of them ones. He's one of what? He one of them ones. Like his name don't come up enough. Right, Rod bad boy, man. But now, the baddest man in the world was Deion Sanders. For sure. Don't fool nobody. Don't fool yourself on it. It was Dion's baddest man in the world. But all of those boys were bad boys right there, man. All of them. And they're all great friends. I go to Washington and speak with Darryl Green right now. And when I go, I stayed at his house. I stayed at his house.
I said, man, where am I sleeping? He said, man, you gonna sleep over here? He put me in a bedroom in the basement. Over the bed, this is a true story. On the top of the Joker's bed, he got a picture of him intercepting a ball in front of me. I said, Daryl, I don't never remember this happening. He told me, no, dog, no, my students painted that. That ain't no real picture. I said, I know it ain't real because it never happened, you know. But, but he's my best friend, man. I love Daryl. I love Dion. That's my boy. You go in my room right here, you'll see many pictures of me and Dion. It's amazing. The guys that I battled the hardest against, now we seem to be the best friends.
That's dope. That's dope, Mike. I respect that a lot. But fast forward to now, man. Becoming an entrepreneur now, man. Like, what's life like after football?
Dude, life is my life is all. I've been blessed, dude. I mean, I worked for the NFL. Making some pretty good money since 1988.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
For a long time,
Made some emails.
I don't know how I stayed in so long. I just don't know how. I saw some good man fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? But somehow God just kept me up there, man. So that's been a great world for me, man. It's been a great life. Because I'm just a pure football player. There's nothing to it. Without football, I would be, not in a good place. You know what I mean? I'm just a pure football player, man. So I'm thankful that I had that opportunity to have that kind of career on the field and then off the field. I mean, I won championships, like I said, at every level that I played, and then I left the school and won and got me a broadcasting Emmy, saying, okay, you were bad over here too. You know what I'm saying? So when I look back over it, the history I have written, I'm pretty proud of.
And the reason why I bring that up, because we were right here today filming at your spot, Playmakers 88. It's a great field, great atmosphere. Like you said, you can put the ring thing over the bar, ring of honor thing over the bar. And because today's time, we see a lot of players when they retire, they don't know how to transition. They don't know what the next step is. And And, a reason why I was bringing it up, it's any kind of encouragement you could give them or anything.
Yeah. But the hard part, all of them have. And the hard part is, can you be determined? Can you dedicate yourself? And it takes that to make it to the NFL. Now, we are so used to having our lives scheduled up all the time. It's all scheduled. So this way, when we leave football, now we got to figure out how do we schedule up our life. And that's where guys fell. So I like to even try to help guys find out what they're passionate about. You may not be as passionate about it as football, but it'll give you something that you can focus on and direct yourself to.
Like in the off season when football was over, what was you doing in the off season? What was Dude,
when I was playing, I was crazy, man. Jimmy used to do, the season ended in February if we won a Super Bowl. So that means my birthday was March 5th, right? So to me, I had about a month to wow the hell out. And Jimmy would always say, hey, y'all get away from football. Go have a blast. I said, you better believe it, coach. Right? For about that month, boy,
going down through that.
Hey, boy, I was 10 toes down. Boy, I was out there, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was out there. And I would always throw my last party on my birthday, right? Wilding out March 5th, that last day. And then March 6th, I'm back to training.
Yeah.
Back to training, boy. It was, Yeah, that was always, I can't even talk about them stories. Right. Yeah, they were good days.
Well, hey, Mike, this is part of the show. When we do the Hell Nahh segment, I'm going to ask you a couple questions and you can give us Hell Nahh. Bubba Dub's live on the show. He knows what he saw. And he's here to tell you, Hell Nahh, Hell Nahh, Hell Nahh. Hell Nahh, Hell Nahh.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, do you eat mushrooms?
Oh, hell no. No, sir, Reebok. But I will say this, I really don't. And my boy RJ, he said to me, let me make you something. And he made a mushrooms burger. He made a burger, put some, dude, the burger, it was a great burger. I said, you got to make sure you put that burger on the menu. You know what I'm saying? And I've never eaten mushrooms. Never. I just can't take that slimy, like, no, y'all know what, I can't take it in my mouth. So, no.
That shit just nasty, period. Do you ever see yourself being an NFL head coach?
Hell no.
Why not?
Not that I couldn't do it. I would be an excellent head coach. An excellent head coach. But the more I whoop your ass, the more you gonna dig into mine. You know, dig into mine. You're gonna dig into my past, and you're gonna be bringing that stuff up. And I don't want you to bring all that up. So I'm gonna tell you. See, Dion, I tell you, he's perfect for it. Dion's perfect for it. You know, never drink, never smoke, don't do anything. They can dig all they want. They won't find anything. But I don't want them dead bodies to start rising again. I don't need it, no.
Speaking of Coach Prime, I just left him. He gave me a gem. He told me something. He pulled me to the side and said, look, Bubba Dub, where you from, a lot of people not going to see who you become. They only see you who you used to be.
Yeah.
And
real deal.
That stuck with me when he told me that it made sense. No matter what you go and do in life,
right.
To certain people, you only gonna be this certain person. They only gonna see you this certain way. So, like you say, when you left Miami back, you know where you was, and go to the NFL and do good, some people only just see you as just Mike, this guy who come from the struggle, or this, that, and the third. How did you juggle that coming from your upbringing into fame and money?
Time and I used to talk about that all the time. Dion, call him Time. We used to talk about that all the time. And we talked about sometimes even looking at it on the other side. You know, why do they do that? Not just that it happens, but why do they do it? And we surmise this, like sometimes people, for their own sake and their own sanity, have to say, oh man, you just that dude that I grew up with, because they look at, and they may be in conflict because they didn't do it. So the only way they can make peace with where they are is to remind them, dude, you just like me. You know, you nobody special. You know, that kind of stuff. So I understand it. I don't take to it. You know what I mean? Because it is what it is. It's most of the time the mentalities that keep us where we are. If we can raise our mentality, we can raise our reality. Correct. That's for real. So yeah, we used to talk about that all the time. So you still go back home and try to encourage. You know, you're gonna deal with them brothers. I'll laugh with them and then try to lift them up and share with them later about, come on, man. You know what I mean? Don't hate on a brother. You got something in you. Let's go get it and try to pull it out of you. But yeah, that a lot of times it's just the only way they can make peace with themselves.
When you say that, do you be brutally honest with people when they ask you certain things about them? Hey man, do you think I can do this and that? Do you be brutally honest with them?
Well, I'm going to be honest. Now, my delivery, I'm going to deliver it in a way that hopefully I'm going to be most effective. You know, I'm a communicator. I understand the greatest gift, the gift of communication is not just the words that I put, it's also how the one that is receiving those words receive. So I want to make sure that I'm educated on both sides of it, you know. So I want to deliver something good for you, something good to you, but I have to make sure I know how I'm delivering it so it can be good for you and good to you. So yeah, I monitor not just what I say, but also how I say it, because I want to be most effective.
That's the reason why I asked that, because I have a lot of people hit me up all the time, tell me they want to be comedians.
Right.
Like, true story, I had my pastor hit me up, tell me he want to be a comedian. I said, nigga, stop. Ain't nothing about you funny, bro. Like, what makes you want to be a comedian now, man?
Right.
I know you can deliver the word, but you can't deliver the jokes. Like, let's be reasonable. Don't get on here lying saying God called you can tell jokes, or, you know.
Right.
Like,
right. But I don't know anybody that don't think they're funny.
Everybody think they funny.
That's what I'm saying. It's just your level of funny ain't gonna get you no money. You see what I'm saying? Your level of funny will get you some money. His level of funny won't get him any money. But he thinks he's funny.
For sure. Until they get on that
Everybody
stage.
think they funny.
Until they get on the stage.
Until
and they got the people in front of them.
Whole different thing. And then the people say, yeah. And then most people think, they just wasn't the right audience before they think they're not funny.
They say they a lot too. But then, like you say, when they get into the audience that they want, it's the same thing. Every time. Like, people understand being a stand-up comedian is one of the hardest things in the world to do. Because you have to entertain people. For however long you're on stage, you have to entertain people. People spend their hard-earned money. They want to laugh.
Right.
And in this business, with the internet world going on, if you go out there and do a show and you bomb, it's going viral. They gonna post it. They gonna show everybody, look, this guy ain't what y'all think he is. So I feel like being a stand-up comedian is one of the hardest things that you could ever do.
Correct, man. And because think about it, you don't even know the audience that's coming in. You know what I mean? You don't know if your joke's gonna vibe with the audience that you got coming in. And so you see a different audience, then you have to adjust your jokes. You know what I mean? That ain't no easy thing to do on the fly. So you gotta connect. Yeah, that is. I wouldn't want the job. I won't. But in every genre now, you gotta entertain.
Correct.
You know, it used to be, even in the business that you're entering now, sports analysis, sports broadcasting, it used to be about delivering information. You know what I mean? But the reality is we get all the information on these very things we call a smartphone. Yeah. And so now you have to make sure, in order to hold people, you have to entertain people. Then you try to educate people, and you hope to edify people. I got in an argument with someone one time on TV about Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith said to me one day, I said, man, our job is to entertain, educate, and edify. He said, wait a minute, you messed up. Educate and edify means the same thing. It's I beg to differ. Educate means I gather knowledge. I gain knowledge. Edification means the knowledge I gathered made me a better person. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about, the depth of the conversation.
Well, Mike, this part of the show, when I ask you, the trash of the day, who would you get trash of the day to?
Man, I'm such a positive dude, man. But I will tell you this, and I met your brother in the podcast room. And my niece, Tynika Irvin, she sent me a picture the other day, of her in an Army uniform serving. This is what I would say. If I could change one thing that I call trash, our service to our servicemen and women in this country is trash. We talk about how much we appreciate them, but we don't treat them right. And I watched my brother-in-law go through it at the vet hospital and go through it, and he passed. And dude, I believe everybody that served, like the NFL, once you get vetted, you should be able to walk in any doctor's office and get any treatment anytime, and any doctor that don't treat you should lose his license. That's the least you can do, at least we can give. And we won't give that. These guys have played so much and given up so much, and we give back nothing but lip service. You're right, man. That's what's trash right there.
Watching this damn show, then you need to know this show presented by Prize Picks. Go and download the #1 sports betting fantasy app right now. Use my promo code TRASH with the 2 H's. Yeah, one of the only apps where you can spend $10 and win $1,500. You damn right. How you play it? It's either more or less. That's right. Like tonight, you might have Angel Reese to have 10 rebounds, put more or less. Might have Aaron Judge to have 2 home runs, more or less. 3 out of 3, 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6 is a winner. Y'all better stop playing and go and download Prize Picks right now. What you waiting on? Huh? Everybody want to win. The only way you gonna win if you don't play. Seeing some of y'all been playing too and complain. Stop complaining. Start doing your homework. Prize Pick, it give you the stats of the last 5 or 6 games on all these players. All you gotta do is look. Dang, they had 15 points this time. 18, 15, 18. It's a pattern.
All you gotta look at it. Well, she had 18 that game. Well, dang, this game she gonna have around 14 or 15. So I'm gonna put more or less. It's that simple. All you gotta do is pay attention. That's all you gotta do is pay attention. Real talk.
This is part of the show where we're gonna pass the microphone around. Y'all can ask any question that you want to ask. I don't give a damn what it is. Ask it. We're gonna answer it the best way we can. And once again, from me and Mike, we want to thank y'all personally for coming out and hanging with us tonight, man.
Hello, my name is Keisha Jackson.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you also.
Nice to meet you, Miss Jackson.
Nice to meet you also, sir. I am for.
Okay,
I know, you know.
What you got, baby? Talk to us.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for the invite. Thank you for all that you've done within the DFW community. My question is about financial literacy as well as generational wealth. Me being a mother of a NFL player, 8 years, veteran, shout out to Jalen Mills, Green Goblin. So my question is, what is it that you think that we need to do as a community to continue generational wealth? And I'm not like with the is it NIL? NIL now, college players are allowed to receive funds. Right. So I think that that's great, but are we teaching them about generational wealth? What do you think that we should do as parents to make sure that our children are not just out here wilding out, you know, depleting their funds and then not in the NFL anymore and no longer have those funds to subside that income or lifestyle that they've been accustomed to? So you as Michael Irving, who has created that for your family, what advice would you give to us as parents with upcoming athletes on how to make sure that they are not just spending their money, but making sure that it is being generated to make sure they have generational wealth?
That's a great
That's
question.
my question.
It's a great question. It's something all our seriously we struggle with. We struggle with. Now, it's so amazing. I said before, my major is business. You have to understand business. There's a reason we call money currency. Because money, truly, to have a strong economy, must flow. I'm going to go on the left on this. We hear places like what they call Korean town. Everybody in the Korean town is being successful because they keep the money in the community. Money flows in that community. All the businesses are doing well. The people in the community are doing well because money is flowing. They have jobs, they're working, they're spending money in the community. The money's flowing. So that Korean town is prosperous. You can have Chinatown. Same thing. They're making money, jobs, everything. Money is flowing. Money is flowing. Money is flowing. So that means that's a prosperous community. When we all get together, we don't spend in the same community. We make money and take it outside the community, so the money really doesn't flow. So we don't have those great communities because we're not spending with each other. You asked about passing down generational wealth. I attend conferences and speak with financial guys that are in charge of families with billions and billions of dollars. And they take time to speak to the kids of those families about the wealth that they're going to be coming into when they're kids. When they're kids. So these families have been doing this for generations. Most of us, and I was kidding earlier, I said, man, white players don't have to deal with it. I was jokingly serious because they really don't. But the reality is they don't because their family has been in that cycle that you're asking me about. We are the first to put our families in that cycle. You see what I mean? So now when we get that wealth, we have to make sure, since I'm going to spend it with my family, I got to make sure they understand that wealth. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to be that joke. You know what I mean? The reality, like everything I make, I don't make it. It goes to the Irvin Dynasty Trust.
Right.
Every now. Irvin Dynasty Trust. You're not gonna hit me with taxes. You're not gonna hit me with death taxes, because the dynasty trust is all of my family members. So when I pass on, they'll become another conservative. It will be my oldest daughter. But you're not going to drag out on death taxes and take away half of my estate. You're not going to hit me every time I give my mother some money. If I give my mother $1,000, if I give her $1,000 and my tax bracket is way up there, that's like giving her $1,500. But if I give her within this trust that $1,000, then I can present to her the tax papers that she can pay it at her tax rate,
Right.
which is a lot less than 50% of what you see what I'm saying. So now it's just not what I make; it's how I dispense what I make. This is what we have to go. This is what we have to understand in order to create what you're talking about, generational wealth. Or all we're going to do is leave money to somebody that's going to run through it.
Right.
I refuse to do that.
Right. So, okay, so one more question. So I think even with you saying trust, I don't think a lot of people understand when you reach a certain stature in life, as far as your finances, about creating trust. Like, I understand that, but most people don't understand. So can you just elaborate on that just a little bit more for me?
Trust protects me against craziness.
Right, it does.
Now, let me tell you guys something. You remember, unfortunately, I'll use a horrific event to explain something here. You remember the O.J. Simpson stuff. And then the Goldmans sued O.J. Simpson. Excuse me. They sued O.J. Simpson. And they won. So they're able to take everything he had. But they couldn't get that $45,000 a month he got, or $35,000, whatever he got.
Or that Heisman Trophy.
No, they got the Heisman.
They couldn't find
They
it.
get the Heisman. He hit it, but it's okay. But also they get the Heisman. But they couldn't break that trust.
Right.
They couldn't stop at $40,000 a month he got away because he put it in the trust. It protects you against all things and everything. And we got to get that kind of financial literacy going on in our community to understand those kinds of things so that we can be successful. We make the money. We come with the most creative people in the world.
But you got to come over here.
Come
That's
up
the
with
camera right
great
here.
ideas. We put the TVs in the back of the headset and rest, but we don't understand the reality of putting a patent on things before we start putting on Instagram and showing everybody, and then the other man steals it, and he says he puts a patent on it, and it becomes, we put the holes in the roof of the car to put lights through, but then Rolls-Royce took it and put a patent on it, and they're making all the money with it. This is the difference between winning and losing. And us, we have all the ability to create it. We just don't know how to solidify it.
Okay.
Hey, ma'am, you say your son's in the NFL?
He is.
Tell him to start put this trust in hoes.
Oh, he has it.
Gotta
No, my
trick it,
son
baby.
is good.
You gotta trick this shit.
No.
You gotta
No.
back to the hoes.
No.
You gotta invest. I know you a mother, and I know you want his best
Come right here. You
interest.
gotta come right here 'cause
But
the
the
camera's
man
right here.
gotta trust in the hoes every now and then, man.
So my son is married, and he good. He good. Hold on. So Kevin has.
Hey, so Mike,
I'm gonna invest in a hoe or two. In real talk, I gotta give back.
Mike, why do I call you Playmaker?
go on with that. When I first got here, I had this car, and you couldn't put the whole word Playmaker on, and it was a little BMW, man, M3. First time you Texans ever saw chrome rims, and I didn't even put any.
And you had that fight with Ricky Dixon and RJ's by the lake.
I did.
You had a fight with him, right?
On my tag, it said Playmaker, because I couldn't put Playmaker on to take off one, and he always called me that.
The Playmaker. So, Mike, you just spoke on something about the trust, but I didn't know, I'm a rookie, I walk in the locker room, and Gene Upshaw walks in, he's the leader of the NFLPA. And so we don't know about the CBA, which is a collective bargaining agreement. Gene Upshaw walked in that building.
Right.
What happened?
Well, Gene this is the first time they were introducing the salary cap.
Exactly.
This is the first time they were introducing the salary cap. As I said to you guys prior, I'm a pretty football player. I understood what they were doing. I don't know that all my teammates understood what they were doing.
We did not.
And I said, here is the gist of what they're doing. I said, they're asking now in order to pay one player, I gotta take it from the other. But now, us in the locker room, we gotta have a bond. But each man is going to be here and want to pay Mike Irvin. I'm going to take money from you.
And the middleman was going to get cleaned out.
I said, the middleman's going to lose in this.
The middleman going to lose.
And I said, Gene, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I said, it's fucked up. It's not right.
And Mike was butt naked and walked up the stairs.
Well, I wasn't butt naked when I walked in, but I did show my ass when I walked out. You know what I mean? Because I told him, my job is to build champions. So I got to build men together. And you just made my job more difficult. Because now I got to take from one man to pay another.
One question?
And that man cares about his family. He wants to feed his family. He's going to hear that I had to take his money to give to you. And I got to be in a hug with that man. That was fucked up premise when he gave. That was just the reality. And my other brothers didn't understand it. But I sprayed the Matthew Martin and John for all the Matthew. This is God's spell. For sure. And they got it.
For sure.
So, Bubba Dub, you were saying you played football and you was like hitting towards earlier along the lines of like, was you trying to say that you could hold on?
You saying could I hold the Hall of Fame with Michael Irvin?
Well, I mean, you was hitting along them lines. At this age, that was something that you was saying, trying to
Could
say.
I hold Michael Irvin?
Can you, at this age, right now, today? You think?
Right now, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, you got shot right now. You got shot right now.
Right now, yeah.
They have.
But back, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. I played cornerback in high school.
Bubba Dub, I mean, that cut you off.
I was small.
I'm gonna be honest with you, G. You ain't holding up today.
Right now, shit.
At all. It ain't happening. Hey, look at his arms. This nigga look like a Spartan.
Arms ain't never beat no damn body. It's skills and technique.
And these knees ain't going for it right now.
See?
These knees ain't going for it. Boy, I used to mess with jokers when I was playing, right? And the joke, I said, man, I used to see brothers. I said, y'all just lifting weight. Them muscles ain't functional. That's what I used to say to them jokers. They didn't want to be just curling up. I said, nigga, you ain't functional. You just got muscle. But now I'm that dude.
I think a better question would be like,
functional like that. You know what I mean? Them knees can't move like that.
Yeah.
y'all should do a pros versus Joe. You think you could be in basketball, maybe?
Yeah. Pros versus Joe.
Yeah, pros versus Joe, something, because I ain't gonna lie, dog. And I'm just looking at y'all on the couch, and y'all, look at his arms.
Look, I'm good for about 5 minutes, but when I get that hoodie back in my system, I'm good for about 35.
Yeah.
That's all good, man. That's all good. Be now, listen, man. You say you play wide receiver.
Yeah.
But receiver too. That's that thing right there. You said it. You gotta catch that ball, and you know them jokers are hollering. Every third down and 3, 4, they said, watch Mike on the sling. You knew they gonna hit you. It's just a matter of can you go get that ball? And you know this hit is coming.
Yeah.
That's the different thing in the NFL.
I wasn't going to get it, Mike. Them boys were hitting too goddamn hard. That quarterback throw that slant shit. I ease up on that goddamn slant.
Yeah. Hombre, let me tell you something. I swear to you, guys, every time they called the slant right, I was scared. But I would always line up, and the thought that would come to my head was like, never either run the slant or you run back to the ghetto. And then I
Run that slant for sure.
I bust their ass on that slant.
For sure.
After that, I ain't going back to that ghetto.
I don't play. What you got, mama?
Hi, my name is Crystal. I'm from Grand Prairie. Bubba Dub, I'm a huge fan. Michael Irvin, my husband, down there, he's a huge fan of yours and the Cowboys. My question is to you, Bubba Dub. how are you feeling? I saw your post earlier today about Burger King, so I want to know how you feeling tonight.
Oh yeah, Mike, man, I went to Burger King, man. I shit for 12 hours. Man, I recommend. I'm telling y'all people right now, don't go to Burger King after 1 p.m. But my stomach's still fucked up. I'm glad I'm here now. I can get some good food here at Playmakers 88. The Burger King kill my damn stomach. I need to wear the pins, man.
Why, that's funny, though.
What you got, brother? Talk to us, man. We got Kevin Samuels. I thought you was dead, man. Kevin Samuels still alive in this motherfucker, boy.
Clean, bro. Any clean.
What's up,
We're
man?
gonna do it like that. First of all, shout out to you, brother Dub, man.
How you doing, brother?
So, my name is Jules Lee. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. I drove 5.5 hours to be here today.
I appreciate it.
I'm a United States veteran. Desert Storm, and earlier you touched on something that touched my heart, Michael. And I just want to ask, with your platform, do you plan on addressing the issues for us veterans? We get health care, but we don't get dental care.
Right.
You know, in the system is so slow. We do not have any celebrities like you and Bubba Dub or anyone really advocating for us. So my question to you is, can you please maybe reach out to some people that you're connected with to get them involved, to get this ball rolling? Because not only the mental aspect of it, but it's also the physical aspect of it. We're losing veterans on a high average more than we ever did. Can you speak to that a little bit?
My man, first of all, we all know everyone in the serve a great debt of gratitude. We can't repay it. It's impossible to repay. I had no intention of getting into this business. But the reality is, when someone jumps in your battle, you have to jump in their battle. You guys jump in the battle and fought for us. And all that we did is this obsession that we have in sports and in being able to enjoy it. It's all under the comfort of your company. And then when you come back from serving and protecting us and giving us that covering, the treatment we give is just absolutely unacceptable. Oh, we talk a good game with our mouth game, but we deliver there not with our reality. And that is so sad. And we all here in America should be ashamed of it. We should. That's the one thing, I don't care a lot of things, and when you talk about how great this country is, that we have failed.
For sure.
Is servicing our servicemen. The Bible says those that serve us all are the greatest of us all. You took down yourself like everybody else, man. That is biblical and spiritual. I apologize for what we have done.
And
I apologize for what we have done.
me personally, as being a man here in America, man, you know, a lot of our women, we go out here and they try to choose the men with celebrities or men with money or dope dealers. And when all and truly, I feel like you hoes should be choosing these veterans. These veterans need to be taken care of in a very special way.
This is true.
More than anything else. And
Wait, you saying the whole shit?
I'm saying the hoes, if any hoes in here tonight,
Looking for someone that can be solid.
if any hoe in here tonight want to do something special for anybody, choose a veteran. And because you know they have to go to the VA meetings and these doctors, and they gonna get to see a doctor. But at least they can see a real head doctor. Because I'm just
make that. I can tell you, he done took it a whole nother place.
What you got, brother? What you got for?
Hello, my name is Michael, I had a question about you playing against DBs. Did you like any schemes or to avoid schemes or any DBs you wanted to play against or not play against?
Well, man, I was different in my attack of players. My mindset was always, if I want to beat a player, I'll attack his weakness. If I want to break a player, I'm going to attack his strength. So any player that I played on, that I had to play twice, I'm going to go ahead and attack your strength. So if you're a physical player, I may be able to outquick you. I'm going to play you once a year, but I'm going to play you twice a year. And you think you're physical, I'm going to be out physical. So you have nowhere to run. I have a methodology about how I attack everybody I played against to assure my victory. Not just today, but tomorrow and forever.
What you got, brother?
All right, Mike, we talked a little earlier. You were my favorite. Dez is my second, and CeeDee is my third. And they all 88s. See, the first 88, I wasn't around, so I can't really speak on him.
Right.
But my question is not for you. It's for you. Bubba, when did you become a Dallas Cowboy fan? And what made you become a Dallas Cowboy fan?
I always been a Dallas Cowboy fan. My whole family been a Dallas Cowboy fan. I remember having posters on my wall of Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith. I always been a Dallas Cowboy fan. Like I say, I would say 1992.
What made you?
Winning, goddamn.
They're winning, right?
Everybody want to be associated with winning. The Cowboys was winning. I'm from Texas, and you know everybody was going for the Cowboys, man. Who gonna want to be a Cowboy fan? Period. You know who gonna want to fucking be a Cowboy fan?
What part of Texas are you from?
I'm from Alto, Texas. I'm from East Texas. I'm a East Texas baby, man.
Oh yeah.
Ain't shit there but red dirt. I'm a
I got you.
dirt baby.
Appreciate you.
In regards to how society is today with social media, what advice do you have to give growing influencers and entrepreneurs using social media? Because I know mental health has been a major issue. So what advice, with you coming up through, you know, your social media platform and everything you have done, what advice do you give people out there that may want to follow your steps in this? And then also in regards to mental health, how do you sustain your mental health through having, you know, your platform and being an influencer?
I would say the number one thing is being consistent. You have to be consistent in the social media game. You have to constantly be in people's face. So if you putting out a skit or a video, if you putting out videos, starting out, you have to put out at least 15 videos a week. You have to constantly be in people's face. You have to have a foundation started of what you're doing. When I started out in 2017, I was doing snitching skits.
Yeah.
And when I was doing the snitching skits back then, it never been seen. Nobody, it was an unknown thing to snitch on people where I'm from. You can't be a snitch, but I played a snitch. And at that time I was playing that, everybody know it was Tekashi 6ix9ine. He started snitching,
right,
or whatnot, and it kind of hit. But I would say the number one thing in that, in anything you're doing on social media, is just being consistent. And anybody dealing with mental health issues, you have to have a strong foundation. The internet will eat you alive. What I mean by eat you alive, they can love you one day and hate you the next minute.
Right.
We live in a cancel culture. You say the wrong thing.
Facts.
People don't like you no more and not following you no more. But be true to who you are. Cater to your audience. No matter what nobody say, cater to your audience. You have nothing to worry about. And put the work in. Don't take anything for granted. Like I said, I started in 2017. I didn't really get on the Instagram to really 2020.
Yeah.
Taking it serious and believe in yourself. Because you're going to have a lot of people come to you and tell you you ain't going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to make it. But the number one thing is believing in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, everything else will come to you.
Okay, Mr. Irvin, I did say this question for him and you. So the initial question, well, for you, the question I would like to ask you is, and let me just give homage. Thank you for being a GOAT. Literally.
Thank you, baby.
So, what advice would you give the upcoming NFL players that are being drafted in the NFL and the NFL players that may have 5 years longevity as of right now? What advice would you give them in regards to being in the NFL and just being a player of the game?
All the life is about sustainability. You know, if I surmise it and give it to you quickly, and quick quote, I will say, living your destiny and not your history. What I mean by that is don't make decisions from your pain. Make all your decisions on your promise. Most guys get in the NFL comes from someplace that maybe they didn't have anything. Like me, we come from a hard place, maybe single, whatever, and you get there. And you get a big sign-in bonus, and you say, oh, I'm going to buy me a house, I'm going to buy my mom a house. I'm going to pay cash for it all because they gave me all this cash. And you're only doing it because you watch your mom or you watch your cousin or somebody get their house taken. So you say, ain't nobody will ever take my house. So you're spending from your past. I'm going to pay $5 million for this home. I'm going to spend $2 million on this home. When the reality is, your promise says go borrow that money. You go borrow that money, and you don't touch your principal, and you collect interest on that principal, and you'll collect enough interest on that principal to pay off that loan that you borrowed with never touching that principal. If you're spending on your promise and not spending on the pain of your past. You see what I'm saying? Be willing to get it when the Bible says that your gift has put you in a place that your person is not prepared for. That's what it means. That's exactly what it means. So now that your gift have you here, don't let your person mess it up. Absolutely.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Bubba Toad Show, man. We had a legend, a Hall of Famer. It's a pleasure to sit down with you, Mike, and learn about, you know what I'm saying, the transitions you made from the Hall of Fame career to a broadcaster, to letting the people know about the entrepreneurship that you do, being the owner here of the Playmakers Restaurant 88. If you come to Dallas, Texas, you got to come to this spot here at Playmakers, man. Great food, great atmosphere. You in the presence of a champion. You know, everybody can't say there was a champion. A lot of people that played the game, they can say they played the game, but everybody wasn't fortunate or blessed to be a champion. You ain't just a champion, you a 3-time champion, you a college champion, you won at every level. Mike, I just want to say thank you from a man like me who never played in the NFL, never played no professional sports ever in my life. But to grace the stage with you is an honor. It's a blessing. And I want to say personally from me, thank you for sitting down with me and my fans and giving us the opportunity to learn more about you than we already knew. I want to say thank you as a man. Thank you as a brother for coming on this show. And there's plenty more to come. And I want y'all, anything you want to say to the people.
Right. And first of all, as I said to you, I'll see you next week in Shreveport. I'm going to come out there to see the show.
For sure.
Because you're my dog.
For sure.
We gonna hit that little, what I call shit-kicking town. We going to hit it together in Shreveport. But on the real of all of it, man, I appreciate the genre in which you have chosen. All of it. We can have a football crowd, basketball crowd, baseball crowd. There are a lot of crowds that you can categorize people in. But no matter what crowd you go to, the world you are in, we all yearn for. And that's laughter, man. So you get to touch everybody because laughter crosses everything. So it's a joy for me to be here with you, man. And I appreciate it. I can appreciate your transition. Keep doing what you're doing. And you know I'm here for anything you need, my brother.
For sure.
You know.
For sure, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Bubba Dub Show, man. We'll see y'all when we see y'all. Thank y'all. God bless.